So everyone on social media knows me for what you guys see on my page right now. For these banger consultations, getting crazy amount of views, dope covers, content doing insane numbers, making $8,000, $6,000 off of social media at this time, strictly off of the content by itself. But nobody knows all the things that I struggled with, my journey as I was coming up. There were a few day ones that know this, that seen me in my journey, but everyone thinks that this just happened overnight. Like I just started posting content and all of a sudden it just went crazy. But that is not the case. So I want to take you guys back, and the whole purpose of this video is for you guys to kind of see where my head was at every single step through the way, because this was not an overnight journey. It took me years to perfect content and understand content to a way where I could create my own content that nobody has ever seen before. Create a piece of content that is specific only to me in the barbering industry. There's no barber that has done what I've done to this day, because everyone knows if someone tries to do this type of content, he's trying to take Brando swag. So I'm going to take you guys all the way through my journey before I had 550,000 followers, before I reached 200,000 Facebook followers, before I reached 60K on Instagram, before I hit hundreds of millions of views across platforms. Before all of that, I'm going to take you guys to day one of my content creation journey. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down. I already did all the work. And you guys are going to see 4 months into me moving into a barbershop, I'm already creating content. But look at this. Look at what I was creating. Look at the views that I got, 700, 500, and I was here for a minute, right? This is my first video that I uploaded that I actually kept. I definitely got rid of a lot of these videos. But just look at the quality here. This is just a TikTok video that I brought up. I had absolutely no idea, but I just wanted to show my transformation and let people know that I was progressing. This video, I put a ton of effort in, and I look back at it and it was complete garbage.
Can't wait till I catch little D thing. I let the heat.
Yeah, I'm not playing that. But I thought this was fire. All right, this was 230 weeks ago, November 3rd, 2021. We're in April 7th, 2026. We're in April 7th, 2026, and this was from November 3rd, 2021. So at this moment, I'm starting my barbering journey. I believe I'm 5 years ago. I'm 18 years old. 17. I'm 17 years old at this time. And I'm knowing I have to create content in order to get my business up and going. So at this point, I'm just kind of treating my Facebook my Instagram like a portfolio. I think that by posting my haircut videos, I'm going to get some type of results. I have 25 likes, and it's literally just my friends and family, right? So boom, I'm posting all these haircuts. I'm doing little dumps. This was one of the first videos that I posted that got me some type of traction and allowed me to realize what is possible in this industry just from creating content alone. And this was kind of like a little ego spike of mine that made me want to really be consistent with this. I was getting a lot of love from my friends at this time from that. So I just kept going, and I was very motivated in this aspect. Look, another one that brought me a ton of confidence, and this is in March 15, 2022. So I wasn't even being consistent, but I always knew I had to post content. I always knew I had to do something different than the rest of my barbershop. Look at the barbershop that I'm in, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Like, this is like all the way. This is in Long Island, back when I used to live out there. Look at the chair out here. This is in a barbershop with 5 other barbers. They were all co-owners, and they gave me my first opportunity in a barbershop. But I literally didn't even know how I got there. I just called up a barbershop. I'm like, yo, are you guys hiring? I need to get into a shop. I literally called up like 6 barbershops. They were the only one that answered. They were the only one that took me. I didn't care where it was. I knew it was close, and I didn't care what it was inside. I just wanted to get into a barbershop. So I came in here and I was constantly creating content. So as you can see, I start gaining a little bit of traction here. 6K, 6K, 7K, 5K. I'm starting to put the pieces together on what I need to be doing, right? Another before and after transformation with some music.
say that I am a barber, I am an artist. Man, all of my cuts are amazing. Just being real, man, just being on.
So I'm posting all of these videos, and yet obviously none of them are bringing me clients really. This is just for me to post basically on my Snapchat for people to see the haircuts that I'm doing. These haircuts are not that different from the haircuts that I'm charging $125 for. So just realize that. I was putting in work, getting really good results on haircuts. That did not mean that my price point was high at all. So I'm continuously putting in work, and then you'll see a big change here when I move to Florida. So this is where a piece of my content changes. October 7, 2022. I started in the first barbershop June of 2021, and a little over a year after that, I move from New York to Florida, and I start to get really deep into my content. As you can see, I'm locked in, bro. Like, this is just from me studying what other people are doing, and I literally took someone's thing and I just copy and pasted it. So at this point, I'm starting to notice, oh, people have a system. There's a recipe to this. So I would take people's stuff that I would see, and I would literally just copy it. I would literally just copy what people were doing. And again, I'm still with the motivational stuff.
I know. They slept on me too. It's alright.
Yeah, they were sleeping on me because my content was trash, and I didn't know how to create good content that actually made people want to stay and watch. And then I would do little bullshit like this. I did this with one of my boys because I thought that this was gonna make me go viral somehow. And we all go through this phase as a barber where we think these types of videos with a professional camera is gonna make us go viral or make people want to book an appointment with us. But it changed nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody gave a single fuck, honestly. Nobody brought this any special attention. People actually started ignoring me once I kept asking them for help. So that's when I learned, okay, sending my posts to people all the time isn't gonna work because nobody likes that guy. So, boom, and then here, I start actually recording full haircuts. Like, I'm telling you, my phone would just stay rolling for the entire hour-long service, 45-minute-long service. I'm not, did I do it here? No, I did it on this one.
She got a thing for Chanel vintage that drop before she can speak.
So this is my journey through content, and I want you guys to watch this and realize that I was just like you. I was just a young kid trying to figure it out, hoping that I could create some type of content that's going to convert into clients, that's going to have me go viral, that's going to lead to me becoming a more successful barber. All right? So, again, I'm just copying whatever I saw people do. And if you see this, I literally used to go word by word to create these captions. I hope I find another one. I used to do voiceovers, and I used to go word by word trying to do this because I had no idea that auto captions was a thing. Let me see. So I'm over here trying to practice hooks. I saw people doing action clips at this time, and I knew that was working for them, but mine would never come out because I had no idea what was making it work. I would get crazy looking clients, and I still wouldn't be able to convert anything. Mind you, this is December 1st, 2022. So this video brought me some hope because it was one of the first videos that got 200 likes for me since getting to Florida. So this video brought me a lot of hope. This is when I went back to New York, and I was really in content creator mode here. And I was really starting to fall in love with the art of creating content. And I started to put my whole soul into these videos. And I mean, it led me down the right path. This is January 2023. You could see a huge improvement from my content.
Bro, I should have just waited for them.
You see a huge improvement in my content and the skills that I had when it comes to editing, just from this alone. So I would really put my heart and soul into this, and I wasn't getting any result. Like my students right now, I was just talking to them about this on the group call. Right now, they're upset because they didn't make an extra 2.2K a month based off of like the previous month. Whereas like, bro, it took me months to even be able to get one price. It took me 6 months to be able to get one price raise to go up $20. 7 months, bro. It took me to go up on one price raise. And these guys are upset because in 1 month they didn't get a price raise. They're so spoiled. They're getting price raises, getting booked out the same month, staying fully booked out. Meanwhile, I had to go through this entire journey for years to be able to figure this out. And this was my first viral video. I got 20,000 views, and guess where it came from? It was me being myself. It was me speaking my truth. I want you guys to watch this because this is such a pivotal moment for me where I started to become confident in my voice and in my vision.
What's up, family? It's officially time, man. It's time for you to go out there and make that content you've been wanting to make. Go do what you want to do. Stop thinking about everything people gonna say or what people gonna think. At the end of the day, it don't matter. Trust me, what you have to say is gonna attract people to you. You have that power. You have that influence. You just gotta be confident and bold enough to go and get what's yours.
I wasn't talking to anyone but myself with this video. And guess what? This was the one video that reached more people than I have ever reached ever on my page. And all I was doing was being true and confident in what I was saying. I truly felt like I needed to let this out because this is what I was missing. It was authenticity. I'm looking at everybody else. I'm copying everyone else. And yet the only video that I ever had to do very well was not me following a trend. It was not me following what other barbers were doing. It was me following what I wanted to do, what my heart was telling me to do. And even after this, I still went back and tried copying people, not knowing that what God gifted me with was my voice. So I went back, I was trying to do other videos, and I went back and I did it again. This one didn't get as much love. And again, it discouraged me.
Do, family, but to change this man's whole image. Let's go. But as we're in the process of that, I want to speak to you guys about being confident, being you, being confident.
I don't even sound as confident as I was here, as I was in this one. But this one didn't perform as good. And then you see me shy away from it again and again. So I stopped with what was working and I went and I did something that I saw everyone else do.
2 a.m. the night still young.
Which was these music and action clip videos that I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even understand the purpose of these videos. But because I saw everyone doing them, I just thought, whatever, let me go ahead and try it. And I didn't even know what about it worked. Alright. Then, cut off some dreads. So at this moment, I consider myself a content creator, but I'm just not getting any results that content creators get. I'm over here chasing views. I'm trying to go viral. I just want the ego boost of people liking my stuff. And I didn't even realize that that was the problem. I was more focused on looking at what would go viral compared to what's going to put money in my pocket. What's actually converting into clients. I didn't care. All that I knew was I'm going to post content. That way people could like and comment. So if you want results in your business, if you want to actually create something that's going to convert into clients, first of all, you have to make sure that you are fixing a problem and that your content is centered around bringing in clients. Because if it doesn't bring clients, then what is the point? At this point, I'm probably bringing in like 3 new clients a month, 5 new clients max. And I couldn't even tell you what was going through my head other than I was just trying to go viral. I was just doing what I saw other people doing, treating my page like a portfolio, thinking that for some reason, this was going to make someone want to book an appointment with me. It's better than nothing, but at the same time, why would I assume that this is going to bring me clients? My cuts were good. My cuts were clean. But this is not enough if you want to be bringing in 100 new clients a month, like the rest of my students. Or bringing 80 new clients in a month at an $80 price point like I was doing. In order for you to actually create content that converts, it has to be very specific, especially at the higher price point. So right here was where I joined my mentorship, where I joined my first ever mentorship, and they just had me uploading my my showcases. So this was the first thing. It was just learning how to record a haircut and make it look smooth. So you see, there's not a lot of movement. It's strictly focused on one part of the haircut. And then we got into action clips. So from June of 2021 to November 2023, I was doing content by myself. I had no idea what I was doing. I had absolutely no guidance. I was just on social media and I was trying to copy trends. I was trying to go viral, right? This right here is where my business began to change. I started actually creating content that would turn into more new clients. I was probably getting like 15 to 20, 25 new clients a month. Not bad, solid. Better than what I was doing. But this is the type of content that I was creating, which it really just showed a satisfying action being done or big difference being made, hair falling off, right? That's what it came down to. Look at how young I look, bro. Look at this terrible haircut, by the way. I felt so, like, I looked back at this and I was like, yeah, that's embarrassing. I felt so bad. I messed this haircut all the way up. So from these action videos, then I started doing voiceovers.
I came straight from Hawaii. Shawty said he not her type, so you know I had to get real right.
Again, I'm trying to be everyone else. I'm trying to come on social media and look cool. That's why I didn't get results. It held me back so long because I wanted to look cool. I wanted to look like the barbers that I wanted to be like and sound like. And that led to me sounding like everyone else and getting the results that everyone else gets. So I would do this, and then I started finding my own swag when it came to it on how I want to do my videos. And I would continue doing this. Mind you, I was posting daily. Like look at this. January 26th. Never mind, no, I wasn't. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. So I was posting pretty consistently. I was locked in creating this content, and it was my number one focus. So as you can see, it looks like it started to pick up right about here. 5,000, and I started to understand tempo. But at this point, I am very optimistic with what I can do because now I finally have guidance and I finally understand what it takes to create good content that actually converts. And I'm starting to lean into that problem solution that I'm talking to you guys about. Not exactly, but you can see that with these satisfying videos, you're actually starting to see more engaging content that makes people want to stay. And this is very pivotal. This video specifically right here was my first banger. This was my first video where I knew I did something right and I could possibly continue doing this on multiple other people. So what you'll see here, and what I learned, was my hook was on point. Cutting off like a lot of bangs like that and creating clean lines on the hairline, that made people interested in the video because it was such a clean action. Same thing here. All you see is clean actions and satisfying clips with a good tempo and then a good showcase at the end. These videos were actually bringing me clients. Not as many as my students are getting, but at least they were bringing me clients for the point in time that we were at with this content. So this was a big ego boost for me in the community, and I started to come up to figure it out for myself.
I'm gonna show you how I turn this into this in 30 seconds.
Problem solution content here. This is when I started to master, and I started to actually bring in higher ticket clients that were paying me $50, $60 a haircut. At the time, I'm charging $35. But this is three months into that mentorship, I believe, 2 months in. I'm finally starting to get it to click where I'm able to create content that I know will convert into clients. And I stayed consistent with this over and over and over again for months and months on end. But it wasn't until, let me see. I posted this video again and I did a voiceover on it.
I ever cut. We gonna hook him up with a blurry low taper. We gonna hook him up with a blurry low taper and a luxurious hot towel service. Hit him with that blessed razor to finish it off. Bang! That's the final result, man. If you in the Four Corners area and you looking for a similar service, click the link in my bio. It's gotta be the longest bangs I ever cut.
So as you can see, I started finding my own swag. I started finding my flow, and the videos start doing better. My confidence at this point was so radiated. I wholeheartedly believed that I could do this. I started looking at other barbers and other creators, and I started to understand why their content worked. And I felt so confident that I was able to go out on a whim and do my own content based off of what I
This is how much I make as a 20-year-old barber.
Again, at this point, I felt very comfortable, but I'm still charging $35 a cut. I'm making it happen. I'm understanding covers. I'm creating stuff that's going to get people's attention. And I found a recipe that works. Right? My confidence at this point is very high because I know I'm not just willy-nilly in this anymore. A lot of us, the reason we're not getting results is because we're just guessing, and we got to be completely honest when we are guessing, because we do not know where we're headed. And the faster you can admit that, the easier it's going to be for you to actually get the results that you desire out of this business. Because you not knowing what you want to do or where you're headed or what you have to do to get to where you want to go, that is not acceptable. Because the longer we stay there, the longer we're preventing ourselves from actually becoming the person that we need to become in order to reach our goals. And me getting a mentor was the easiest sign for me to be able to say, okay, this is the right direction. Now I'm headed in the right direction. Because I actually had somebody who got results, who was doing the thing, who had helped other people do the thing to help me get the results. So you'll see here, I got a few more bangers. I got a few more stuff going on. And this right here was my first ever consultation. This was my first ever consultation in May 3rd, 2024. May 3rd, 2024. And my second consultation blew up. I understood hooks. I understood when I studied content. I understood why it was that people loved seeing content. Obviously, this shows a big transformation coming up. And all that I did was rode off of that. I just asked some questions and I was extremely confident on camera. But at this point, it still didn't click to me that the blessing that God gave me was my communication. Therefore, consultations were going to be the thing that obviously worked for me because God already blessed me with my communication and my authenticity when it comes to speaking to people and making people feel comfortable. So for a viewer, when they're able to see this comfortability on camera and it's not awkward, it's very easy for them to want to book an appointment with you because people, yes, they're booking a haircut, but they're also booking the vibe. They're booking the experience. So me being super cool on camera allowed for people to see the real me. And again, that authenticity is what allowed for people to be like, yo, you know what? I want to book with this guy. And I started getting clients that were paying me top dollar. This client right here used to come all the time with his brothers, and his dad used to pay me very, very well because I solved their problem. This was another consultation I had. Boom. So I'm doing these. I'm getting good results. I'm understanding what I got going on. I understand the sauce. But I'm still not consistent with the consultations because I was so trained that I needed to do action clips. It still wasn't a popular thing to be doing consultations. So because there was no system out, I still didn't upload too many consultations. I posted big chops, but I was really more focused on doing hairline services. And again, I'm just throwing stuff out in the water because my brain didn't realize that I had to focus on one thing. If I would have known, hey Brando, just focus on mastering one thing, I would have been gotten insane results. But my brain was, I don't know my thing yet. I need to try everything before I focus on one thing. But that's when I started doing the day in the life of a 20-year-old barber. And I would run these up for, I think, a few months. I mean, like, every day I post day in the life, day in the life, day in the life, day in the life. And then I posted this. This was huge for me.
He's starting over his lock journey.
This was huge for me because I finally realized I can do whatever I wanted.
Up with a plan. I'm knocking off all these naps so I can see what's underneath. This was his first deep clean in months. He was.
This is after weeks of studying Sly Honcho, the barber who did all the barber consultations with the funny voice, and I understood what made his content pop. And this was what allowed for me to start going viral, start understanding content on a different level. It was when I started studying the greats. Studying the greats is what turned me to a beast. And it allowed for me to understand hooks. It allowed for me to understand movement, tempo of the camera. It allowed for me to know how to keep someone engaged with what I was saying. Not just to explain what was going on camera, but also to give people a reason to stay. So if we watch this again.
He's starting over his lock journey. Ain't no turning back now.
Ain't no turning back now. He's starting over his lock journey. Ain't no turning back.
He said, I better not cut it too short.
Instantly bringing a problem from the client. He said, I better not cut it too short. So as the viewer, you're automatically thinking, oh man, he better not cut it too short. So that's a problem that we have to make sure that we don't do with this hair.
We was both nervous for this outcome.
We was both nervous for this outcome. What do you mean you don't believe in yourself? You're the barber. That's what I want the viewer to think, because that's going to get them to stay. What does this barber mean he's nervous? I'm going to show you guys another example of me doing the exact same thing on a self-cut. First of all, you'll see my text hook says, my first self-cut gone wrong.
How I messed up my first self-cut.
And the first thing I say is how I messed up my first self-cut as I expose my corners. Instantly letting people know they're in for a treat.
It started off all Gucci.
It started off all Gucci. Basically foreshadowing there is going to be a problem at the end of this.
Take my wave down with a 3-guard and decide to give myself a high taper. I pulled the shit out of my skin, causing
already showing people that there is a problem on board. I'm pulling on my skin and it's turning red, showing that I do not know what I'm doing.
The redness. The first side came out icy, but
the first side came out icy, letting people know the second side probably wasn't all that.
Once I move on, I realize this other side is not as easy. But I keep going to make it good enough. I have a receding hairline, but I'm used to lining myself up. Now this is where things get a little bit tricky. I do my eyebrows and I decide to get...
This is where things get a little bit tricky. And I continue with whatever I'm talking about, because I want people to stay until the end. So I'm constantly giving them a reminder that, hey, you're in for a treat after this. You're in for a treat after this. And I'm just feeding them the little bit of bait that they want.
Get started on the back.
It was at this moment that he knew.
This isn't even that bad of a problem. But because of the way that I made this video, it made it seem like this was a serious problem.
He fucked up.
Obviously, I put that meme in there so that people could realize that this is supposed to be a funny moment to get some emotion out of them.
I accept defeat and do what any barber would. I got fixed up by another barber. And that, my friends, is how I messed up my first self.
And then the loop at the end to make people watch it a second time, to get my views better, to help the video get sent out to more people. And then here I started doing some more consultations, and I honed in on my voiceover videos. So I'm starting to get the recipe. I'm not trying any new things. I'm just doing what's already worked. Consultations, voiceover action clips, and still doing some day in the lives. I'm 20 years old still, so this is from 17 years old. This is 3-4 years in almost from me creating content, from me actually learning how to create content, or starting to create content, I should say. And I'm at 5,000 followers, it seems like. I believe this is on TikTok. I'm at 5,000. But you can literally see my journey and how much better I got at content. I want to show you guys this video too, because these three right here are a perfect example of my growth. Here, people said I sounded like Sly Honcho, and you're going to see why.
His girl said it was time to cut it off, and I couldn't wait. I got that look in my eyes.
The more I cut off, the more joy I have. If he wasn't available, I wouldn't have done it. But I'm available, so I'm cutting it off.
So people were in my face talking about, he thinks he's Sly Honcho, all this, that, the third. So I made an adjustment.
He's getting an 8-guard buzz, all because his girl said it would look good. But I'm a hater because I don't got curls like this, so I just buzzed that off. I turned him around and he said, I will look at it.
So I took what Sly Honcho did well. I loved how he included the client into his videos and the energy that he came on with. So I took those two things, I added it with my great hooks, with my tempo, and my own personality. And this video did extremely well on TikTok. It got millions of views. And then right after that, I came at it with this.
His mom made him cut off his luscious curls and he was upset. You could see it in his face that he wasn't happy. But I told him to trust the process because I promised I would get him right. I almost felt bad for the kid.
This is a masterclass of content because I hit every single emotion, I hit every single tempo, and I made look at the
I knew what I had in my sleeve. Even though I almost made this huge mistake. He wants to grow out the size for a curly afro. So while that grows in, I decided we should do a mid-taper. And we tapered his line of...
Look at the progression of the haircut. Look at how good my content is compared to what it used to be. Look at all the changes that I had to make to my own personality, to myself, in order to get to this point. People think that just by creating content that you're gonna be that you're automatically gonna get results. There are so many skills that you need to acquire in order to consistently get results, to consistently put out bangers. And my focus was not how do I get the best results? How do I go viral? My focus was how do I get the skills that I need in order to be inevitably a great content creator. And that's why today I could look at any piece of content from any barber, from any industry, and be able to know exactly what was going through their mind in order to get to this outcome, in order to create a video like this, and what their thought process was with every single second of the video is because I had to do the same thing. Content creation is an art. You cannot just wake up one day, look at someone's video, try and copy what they're doing, and be consistently just as great as them. There are skills that you must master.
To make sure it was always crispy. He was holding in his smiles and finally let out of. And another.
The reason this video converted very well, look at how I got this client specific, like confidence, like joy of this haircut. I exaggerated the confidence that he had. First, I got his pain and I exaggerated his pain. Next, I got his confidence after the cut and I exaggerated his confidence with the content. Now, because I built this huge gap, the people who are watching the video, they want to buy this outcome. They're buying the fact that when they sit in my chair, they're going to come in with this much pain and they're going to leave with this much confidence. Because I created this huge gap, now people are looking at my stuff and they're like, yo, I gotta book an appointment with him. I got to.
But I'm located in Davenport, Florida. If you want to see more similar transformation, make sure you hit that follow button.
And then boom, giving them a call to action. A lot of people post videos and they don't even tell the people who are watching what to do. You could tell people to follow. You could tell people to like. You could tell people to comment. You could tell them to book an appointment with you. But if someone doesn't clearly know what is the next step now that I watched this video, you're automatically losing clientele that could be booking an appointment with you. People have to know what is the next step. What do you want me to do? Because they got to the end of this video, that means you're an authority figure. They respect what you do, and they're more likely to listen to you at the end of your video compared to at any other point because they worked hard to get to the end of this video. So this is really where I knew my content was taken to that next level, where people really couldn't touch me and there was no going back after this. As you can see, I moved into a studio after this haircut. I'm making $800 days. What was my price point here? What do you think about the price? I am going up to $65. $65 a haircut is what I went up to. So I believe I was at like 35 or 45 or something like that. And I made a jump from 45 to 65, where the highest barber in my city was charging $45. And this is with a hot towel. This is with a steamer. This is with a mask, like all these extra stuff. But the reason that I was able to do that was not because I had the best service. It was not because I was the best barber. It's not because I created the crispiest hairlines. It was because I created a brand on social media that people wanted to be a part of. They wanted to be in these day in the life videos. They wanted I was the back to school barber. Bro, you gotta go to Brando Blends. Because I created that on social media. But a lot of people sit there and they act like social media is not the biggest game changer that you could have. Look at my clientele. It's very specific. At least with the age-wise and the types of people that come to me. You could see exactly what my type of clientele is. I'm not attracting a lot of grown men. I'm attracting a lot of teenagers, a lot of young adults. These were the people that were watching my videos on TikTok, on Instagram, and wanted these haircuts, that wanted these types of transformations. These clients that were paying me $45, they still come to me and pay me $125. Him right here. Obviously, it's not a lot of them, but a lot of these clients he still comes, pays me $125, $150 a haircut. A lot of these people still come to me. She still comes. A lot of these people rode with me all the way to $100, and it's because they found me on social media. I created value by showing them that I am the barber to go to if you want a specific problem fixed. So, you'll see here, August 30th, 25K followers in 30 days was my goal. I don't know if I hit it, honestly. But before we get to that, I want you guys to just look at this, bro. This was my content.
It's time. Slapping that 8 guard on gets me excited. I was gonna do that anyway. These clippers came straight out the oven. They high and ready like Little Caesars. At this point, I'm just melting through his hair. Damn. I don't know. Nah, but it's too late for that. It's time for surgery, and the surgeon ain't got no time to waste. I gave him a baby blend. I jumped straight in to attack that lineup. You know what time it is.
So you can see the difference in my content. This should show you how much effort it actually takes to become a great content creator. And a lot of people think that they could do this by themselves, that they could do this with no guidance, that they don't need any help, that they don't need anyone. And cool, do it on your own. But if it wasn't for me joining that mentorship, my eyes would have never been open to how much work and how much skill it actually took to get to this point when it comes to content creation. A lot of people think that just because they see other people doing it, that they could copy. It doesn't work like that. If you don't understand why something works, if you post a video, you can make it exactly how the other person made it. But if it's not authentic to the way that you are, it will not work. It will not stick. You will not be able to continuously get this result. So, boom. Now I have people driving hours to come and get a haircut by me. Hour 30 drive, an hour drive. And my thought process at this time is, I'm going to continue to show off how long people are driving to come and get this cut. 3-hour drive, and I'm not lying at all. These are people that actually drove this distance, and I'm using that as a marketing technique so that when people see, oh man, this dude drove an hour and a half, 2 hours for this cut. Okay, I'll do the same thing then. So because of that, I'm actually able to start getting insane amounts of people coming in from Tampa, from Deltona, from Daytona, from Okeechobee, driving hours away just to come get a haircut by me because they felt comfortable enough because I'm talking about all these people that are getting these haircuts by me. So at this point, you're probably seeing my page and you're like, oh, you're not getting views like that. But this is where my TikTok started to pop. So let's go over here. And I just want to go down to around that time so that you guys can actually see the switch, because I was avoiding TikTok because I thought TikTok was lame. I thought TikTok was for weirdos and people that wanted to do dance moves. But little did I know that as soon as I got on TikTok, God was going to bless me with a banger explosion when it comes to my content. So now I'm taking TikTok seriously, and I'm somewhere probably around here at this point. Yeah. So I'm somewhere around here. So look at the results that I've been getting on TikTok. I'm getting insane numbers here. This is where we left off at. So you guys can see, boom, drives an hour away. Grandma drove an hour away.
His grandparents surprised him with a haircut after he found me on TikTok.
And even with, I raised the stakes. Grandma drove him to get a haircut. Then I announced the problem of his pin straight hair. So these are all specific things that I did on purpose in order for people to understand and actually want to book an appointment with me.
Stop coming to me for a while. I was scared, man. What happened?
I was trying to...
Stop coming to me. Text hook. Client returns after cheating. 1 hour 30 drive. You stopped coming to me for a little while. I was scared.
For a while, I was scared, man. What happened?
I was trying to stay local and just like save myself the drive time.
Bruh. So I'm selling people on the fact that, yo, you should make this drive because it's going to be worth it. This client came to me, tried to stay local, and then he came back to me and started making that drive again because I was so good. Every single post that I make at this point is super strategic with bringing in clients and selling them through a video, because now I understand I'm selling to these people. These people are buying my service through these videos.
You want waves? Waves are short. Okay. He looked nervous like he didn't want to do it, but I was going to cut these naps off anyway. His hair really didn't want to get cut off. My hair holding on for dear life. I grabbed another pair of clips and still struggled. See, I told you. My hair's just built different. Forget that.
Every single thing was on point, bro. And this is how locked in you have to be with your content, because it's not just you posting something and expecting to get a wild result or get crazy consistent results. This is an ever-going thing for me of I need to get better. I need to get better. Okay, this worked. What can I do better? Okay, I liked how this worked. I believe this is why this video did good. I'm going to continue doing this. That constant, my brain was non-stop going on what I needed to do in order to get results. Check out this video.
Where you coming from today?
Hour 40 drive, $70 taper, $70 taper. So instantly, I want to show people that I am valuable. People value my services. They're willing to drive this far, and they're willing to pay this price.
Another hour and 40.
What makes you want to drive an hour 40 for a cut, bro?
And I see a lot of people. Every coach is giving every single person the same script. Every single coach. They have everyone doing the exact same thing. What I am teaching my students is learn how to ask questions and learn how to dig deeper. Dig deeper, and don't try and ask a bunch of different questions. Ask a question and then dig deeper and get a better answer. Make that the focus, because if you get better answers, people don't need to hear the client talk about 80 different topics. They just need to be sold on why they're paying for that haircut, what actually made the haircut worth it, and will they come back? That's all people really care about.
Last time, and it was real good.
What did mom think, man?
She thought it was good.
So you picked up any new girls with the cut? Like, oh, no?
Damn!
Your hair is really flat, bro. And what we doing today?
Mid taper with a textured fringe.
Let's do it.
Mid taper with a textured fringe. Most people will pass right by that and not realize that we use those specific words, because that's what the algorithm was picking up at the time. Textured fringe. So if someone was to search up textured fringe, guess what video they're seeing? The video that says the words textured fringe in it was popping up on their page. So a lot of this stuff was popping up in people's page for the simple fact that SEO picked up that this was a textured fringe video. Boom. So I was running this up with every single client. As you can see, I'm going straight into consultations, because this was, first of all, the easiest videos to do. And it also led to me to the highest conversion of clients that I had. 1.7 million. My mom said it looked ugly. It was time to go. And I don't really know what I want. So I knew there are so many people in the same exact position. They have long hair, and this is the transformation. This is the type of clients that I would attract. It was people that wanted a transformation. So I know there's a lot of people out there that their mom wants them to cut their hair, and they don't know what they want. So this brought me a shit ton of clients off of the simple fact that I was able to target a specific type of client that was watching the video. Obviously, banger transformation, because I was the GOAT at that cutting hair stuff. Obviously, I'm on my way to retiring, so I don't even consider myself a barber. I barely consider myself a barber anymore. But time after time again, I learned how to harp on problems, which also converted.
I had one other barber come in.
Speaking of bad experiences, because this allows for clients to see that they don't have to stick with that bad barber, that they're allowed to switch barbers, that when you switch barbers, good things happen, specifically when you come to me.
Messed me up pretty bad. It was like a buzz, like all around. I asked for what I asked for today, and he ruined me.
So again, I'm building that pain. Look at how I'm making his previous experience so much worse than what it is. And then when you see the after, I'm going to exaggerate the after of how he feels after the haircut. Watch this.
Where you coming from, bro? From St. Pete.
How far was the drive?
Like hour 45. I seen that you had all 5-star reviews, not a single complaint.
She don't wanna strip no more.
Also notice how I'm barely talking. All that I want is for my clients to speak well about me. That way when the viewer sees this and they see video after video after video, it's not me boasting about myself. It's my clients boasting for me about me.
Don't wanna hit that pole.
So as you can see, I'm not just focused on making the haircut look good. I'm focused on making my client look good. Because if my client looks like he's popping and he looks better than how he did when he came in, realize I'm not just selling the haircut. I'm selling that when you come sit in my chair, you are leaving with the most confidence that you have ever had in your life.
I'm scared.
Scared?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, check it out.
Getting an authentic reaction. Talking about his feelings beforehand, before he sees the cut, and now you're about to see the excitement on his face because I did not allow him to see the cut at all while I was cutting his hair. This again was very strategic for people to actually see what it's going to be like for them when they sit in my chair and they get to feel the same emotions that he feels in this moment.
You can see the back?
Yeah,
Look
that's
at this.
exactly
He doesn't even know what to say.
It is.
So every single thing that I did was strategic. And look at the clients that I'm attracting based off of these videos because everyone wants the transformation. Look at this. I can't tell you how many clients I got from this. Even though it didn't get a lot of views, it converted so well because we targeted specific problems and we normalized him driving 5 hours for a haircut to get this house, to get
Panama
saved.
City, 5.5 hours.
Get out of here.
Yeah. For traffic, it was close to 6.
You passed a whole lot of barbershops on the way over here.
Panama City's, vacation.
Clearly he didn't come in like this. I purposely moved his hair around and exposed his corners. That way people can instantly see what the purpose of this video is.
City. There's a lot of like haircut places, no barbers.
Again, I put this in the beginning. Remember, just because you guys see this video this way, it doesn't mean that this is how the consultation went. This is how I put it strategically because I want to put the most relatable stuff that's going to actually bring in majority of viewers in the front. That way people could start to realize, oh, like that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what's going on around me. Oh, well, I'm 3 hours away. He drove 5 hours. If I drive 3 hours, it's not that crazy. I should do it. And then he's talking about the barbers in his area. Oh, in my area, there aren't a lot of good barbers, so I drove all the way over here in order for you to save me. People relate to that. The reason why a lot of people look like this and their hair is overgrown is because they don't have barbers in their area that they trust. So when they see my videos and they see me doing transformations, people are instantly going to be like, yo, I need to go to that guy.
Yeah, they're all, mom and pop old dudes in there cutting with scissors and stuff. So you just walk in there getting trimmed.
Again, talking about his bad experiences.
They can't really do anything special. Girl found you on TikTok. I saw you online doing good cuts. Somebody I think I can trust.
Really, the longer it is, the more thin it looks.
Yeah.
So I would probably cut it about halfway.
And boom, here's me giving the solution. This was also strategic and helped and was a big reason in why I actually converted a lot of clients with this video is because not only did we point out his problem, I also gave him the solution on what he needs to do in order to get a better result.
And just do just enough to cover the corners, and then that way we can make it seem like there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cool with that.
There's no price on a problem that hasn't been fixed yet.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think especially 65, it's not that bad. Well, I'm gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? I got you. And your shorty's gonna be happy that she sent you my way.
Let's go.
Go. I got you.
All of my friends are dead. Leave them in the cold, put them in the tundra. I don't rage.
Haircut was trash, but guess what? I solved his problem, which was the receding hairline. He actually came back and I did it better the second time. But the point is, I fixed his problem on covering his hairline and making his thin corners not look so thin. And this turned into a lot of clientele. You can see this guy came back again. This guy drove from Miami for a date. So over and over again, you guys will see me actually better my content, and I want to take you guys, look, now I'm starting to reach millions of views with my stuff because I got it down to a T on what I need specifically. There was only a couple things: a problem, raising the stakes, and a good transformation. That's literally all it takes to get a banger video. Anything more than that, anything less than that, your video's flopping. So once I realized I had this in the bag, I started creating these videos, and I was just going ham. And I started attracting all the clients that I needed. 19 million views. Where was it? 2 million views, 2.3 mil, 760K, 1.2 mil, 1.6 mil. And I'm just hitting these back to back to back to back to back. These are going viral. These are doing crazy numbers. And then I learned,
How'd that last take reach you, bro?
Dude, is exactly.
Then I learned how to completely transform people's identities by giving them a different identity in the beginning. Giving this guy a comb over when I know he always gets a textured fringe.
Exactly what I wanted. I mean, I had so much confidence leaving. I closed the most amount of deals I ever had. So I had my best month in November.
Tell them to bring me my money.
I really do think it was just the confidence I had going into the homeowners' houses, just being able to present myself happily.
I did raise my price to $80. Did that affect you at all?
Nah, that's fine. Yeah, we're good.
Nobody gives a fuck. You are stuck charging $35 and you think that it's okay for you to charge $35 and that you will never be able to attract clients that are willing to pay more than that. That is false, because the only reason you believe that is because you have been programmed by the people around you, by the barbers in your area, the OG barbers, that that's the way to do it. Because if you go up, you're going to lose clientele. No shit, Sherlock. How about you focus on finding the new clients that are willing to pay that price? Because those are going to be the people that are going to love paying you $80, that are going to tip on top of the $80, that are going to continue to come back and refer other people that could pay $80 for a haircut. You're worrying about word of mouth and passing out business cards to clients that can only bring you $35 clients. All that does is keep you running around, either trying to cut more hair in a day, working more days, working longer hours. That doesn't make sense. You have to leverage your demand by raising your prices and learning how to attract more higher ticket clients if you want to continue to increase your income and increase the ceiling and the potential that you have. That's all that we raise our prices for. It's not about how good my haircuts are. It's about how many people want to sit in my chair. If I go back to $35, I will be booked out for 3 months. The reason I still charge $125, even though I'm not as busy, is because I don't want to cut that many people. I would rather use the time that I have, the platform that I've built, to help other barbers with this journey. That's why I put so much attention into my guys, and that's why they get the results that they're getting. 100 new clients in a month, their first month in the community. Who's doing that? We have this sold out then because of the simple fact that I was willing to put my personal gains to the side and start building something for other people.
I want you to be mine again, baby. I know my lifestyle is driving.
So every single video that I'm posting now, I understand the sauce. And look at these results that I'm getting, bro. And mind you, this is before geotagging. I didn't even know geotagging was a thing. But you can see every single client that comes in with long hair, I'm holding his hair up. Hey, bro, what are we doing with this? And instantly they say we're chopping it off. This client drove from really far. Yeah, I came up from Miami. And we just exaggerate the fact that he drove all the way from Miami. Boom. This client here. Big chop. You buzzing it off? No, I want a curly afro. Cool. 4.5 million. This kid drove 13 hours. This client made his parents drive
13 hours
from
West Virginia.
But there was only one problem. He's looking for
Blowout taper textured fringe.
This is a piece of content that nobody has done. If you guys want to try and do something like this, I would highly recommend it. I know it will work if you do it right. But nobody else has tried it. I honestly stopped doing it after this time. I don't know why. I only did it because the audio, I believe, was messed up or something. But I just got it, bro. I had other ideas. God blessed me with other ideas, because as soon as I did that, God blessed me with these ideas. I'm not showing that because this is actually a video that a parent wanted me to take down. But I'll show you guys this right here. 11.7 million views. At this point, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you guys just because I don't know. So this isn't going to work. Okay, so this isn't gonna work because I believe it's for the last year. Alright, so this isn't working for this specific video, but I'm gonna show you guys how much I actually brought in from some of these videos. I brought in way more than this from this video. I brought in way more than this. Alright, so I brought in about 6K from this video. I don't know why it's showing this amount. Oh, it's because it only goes up to a year. So in the last year, mind you, I uploaded this video an entire 3 weeks before April 6th of last year. But this only goes back a year. But in the last year, I made 3.5K off of this video. And it was creating me income all the way until September of last year. This video in the last year, which was posted in, about 6 months ago, this is the same video. So this video alone made me over $6,000. This video alone, this is the same video. I just reposted it literally. This video, I posted it, exactly a year ago. And it brought me $2.2 thousand. Just that video alone. So think about how much money I made from this content. Take a look at this, bro. I was making millions of dollars. Not millions of dollars. I was getting millions of views and it made me thousands of dollars. And look at this content, bro. No one can replicate this and say that they came up with this on their own. No one can replicate what I did because I created something that was so unique that only my brain, that only God could bless me with this vision for a video.
Bro. Oh! We cutting all this shit off, bro. I'm done with this shit, bro. Too tired of it, bro. It's just too much. Too much for me.
So the way that I got to this part of the content, and I need you guys to understand that I was so fucking dialed in. I was waking up at 5 in the morning. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped doing everything. I stopped hanging out with my family. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped hanging out with my brothers. I wasn't going to no clubs because I was so focused on how can I make good content? How can I become a content creating machine? This is what allowed for me to get insane results. I remember waking up at 6 in the morning and waking my girlfriend up and telling her, babe, I think I got it. I think I understand what I need to do. And it was this idea right here. I literally just pieced together another piece of content from another industry and I placed it in what I was doing in my barbering career. And this is what led for me to have an extreme blow up, to go up from 25,000 followers to 550,000 followers within months. It came like nothing because I genuinely knew if I just continue to post these videos, if I continue to build on the things that I already know, the principles that I already mastered, it was inevitable for me to reach these results. Because I already knew this was going to blow up. God blessed me with a vision, and all I did was act on it right away.
Too much, honestly.
What was you trying to get?
Trying to go 360 waves. 360 waves.
How long have you been growing your hair out? At this time, I want you guys to realize what was going on in the industry. A lot of people were doing consultations, were starting to do consultations. There was no scripts, there was no geotagging. People were just creating content and trying to create as much leverage and show off as much problems as possible. But the one thing that I noticed that people was missing, that I saw that some people were doing by accident, was they had a great character. They were great people. They asked good, authentic questions. So what I did was I turned that into my own direction. While everyone was going right and following the crowd, I took a sharp left. While everyone was trying to show up as this perfect barber with this perfect attitude and this perfect character that asked the perfect questions, I realized if I just make a sharp left and I'm the one person who doesn't care what the viewers think, if I'm the one person that's bold enough to say what other barbers are scared to say, I knew instantly that I would get the results that I got. I knew that if I was able to do the things that most barbers are too scared to do on camera, that I will be the one that get the best results, because I know if my content looks completely different from everyone else's and people already like these consultations, then they're gonna want to stay and watch me because I am different. People love different.
How long? About a year? Kind of long, right?
You got some
Yeah.
bitches.
This is very raw too. This is like the first time I'm doing this. So I didn't even fully know yet what exactly was going to be proven to work. I'm just testing out this character of me being super serious, me acting like I don't want to be there.
How much you plan on tipping?
Man, I don't know, man. I'll decide that later.
How much you plan on tipping? That was something that came to my brain, and I knew it was going to work because it was automatic rage bait. Anyone who was over the age of 25, 28, they were going to get pissed off because first of all, they would think I would be serious, and they would think, why would a barber ask a client how much they're tipping? How rude is that? And I couldn't tell you the amount of hate, the amount of comments that I got at first. And then later on, as I continue to do these videos, as I double down and I ask it with more authority and more disrespectfulness, people started to catch on, and it started to become an inside joke in my own community. So when new people came, guess what people were saying in the comment section? Since when do barbers ask how much you plan on tipping? Boom. He knows his worth. I would have walked my ass right out of there. Yeah, sure, whatever. They're friends. When they don't know how to cut hair, they don't. It's his thing. No worries. He's just bratty. So people in my community understand the inside joke, but the people from the outside don't. So what does this do in my comment section? It creates a conversation. It creates threads of conversations so that people could continue to push my video out to someone else. Oh, he's rude. L Barber. Part 2 for a haircut is crazy work. So we're not going to talk about this guy who is getting his haircut is whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm telling you right now, if my barber ever asks me how much I'm tipping him on a cut, he's not my barber anymore. Don't mess with his cover. He's the same in every video, complaining and acting too much, but it low-key works for content. This is just a regular person, but they understand. It's literally a skit. Chill. For real, he needs a new career. Right? He acts as if he's doing them a favor. This handsome young man should get up from the chair and leave. Part 2 for more money. Boycotting should begin. He is a hater, the barber. Tip first nonsense. So, this is what content creation is about. Not only did I get people interested in watching the video, I made them psychologically. I made them so mad to the point where they had to go to the comment section, where they had to say the emotions that they felt. At this point in my content creation, I'm already knowing my sole purpose is to get people to go to the comment section. Because if I could get them to go to the comment section, that means that TikTok is going to see my post and say, TikTok is going to see my post and say, oh, this is something that people want to talk about. Because that's all they care about, is keeping people on their platform. And once I understood that, I applied it to every single video.
My special?
Okay.
I'm supposed to cut your hair with a hoodie on.
So, this is where we're at with it. My content started to get so poppin' that now I'm not just having anybody, watch my content and want to book an appointment with me. I'm having high ticket clients, people that want to pay me $100+ for a haircut. These people are tipping me $100+, and this is how I ended up making $28,000 a month in my barbering business. One, yes, my clientele was great. I think I made like $18,000, $20,000 off of content, off of cutting hair. But then I made an extra $8,000 from the content that I was creating. So I made $28,000 in 1 month as a barber, just creating content and cutting hair. Mind you, I was only working like 4 or 5 days at this time. At 5 days at this time. So I wasn't killing myself. I wasn't working from 6 in the morning to 12 p.m. at night. 12 a.m. at night. I was literally chilling, working 9 to 6. 5 days a week. Had Sunday, Mondays off. But what the difference was the idea. A lot of people think that, oh, I need to get my skills better. I need to do more. I need to work harder. Sometimes you just need better ideas when it comes to your content. But you cannot start focusing on ideas if you don't even understand the principles of content or understand why something works. Once you understand the foundation, once you understand the principles of why something works, then you're able to add stuff onto it. And a lot of people try and skip the steps and just try and go straight into, oh, I want to be creative and I want to post what I want to post. What you don't understand is you don't even know what works. How can you possibly post whatever you want and you don't even know what works? So if there's anything that you take away from this video, it's to realize that there are levels to this content game, that this is a journey, that this is not just something that you can wake up overnight and go and achieve and just become this viral content creator. For me, this took years and years of work. As you can see, we started in 2021, and it wasn't until 2025 that we started to get real results. 2025, this took me 4 years. 2 years doing it by myself, and then 2.5 years doing it by myself, and then 1.5 years doing it with a coach. This is what it takes to be great. I spent thousands of dollars. I spent over over $10,000, maybe like $14,000 in that span of a year and a half to get coaching so that I can learn how to make $28,000 a month. So what I offer to my students is to teach them how to avoid all these mistakes that I made for a fraction of that $14,000 that I paid. The only way that you will actually get results is by you getting the information that you need and you implementing the information that you need. You knowing this stuff isn't going to help you. You being consistent and posting every day but not knowing the information that you need is not going to help you. You need to make sure that you know what it is that you have to do and actually getting it done regularly. I was putting in so much pain around this time and I wasn't missing any videos. I wasn't being inconsistent. So you can't come to my page, watch this video, and then try and copy it and think that you're going to have a banger on your hands. You have to start from ground zero and understand the fundamentals of why content works. That's why in sports, you don't see players going straight from picking up a basketball to shooting threes. You don't go straight to the between the legs, behind the back, spin move, layup. It doesn't work like that. You have to work your way up when it comes to sports, when it comes to anything in life. You have to start from the bottom and work your way up. So stop trying to skip steps. Stop thinking that you're so awesome that you could just hop on social media and take it over and get these amazing results. Sometimes you need a coach. Sometimes you need someone who's able to point you in the right direction. If you don't want to do that, I have a video where I explain the exact frameworks that I use to get me to 800,000 followers. If you want to do it by yourself, go watch that video. That way you can actually learn what it takes in order to study content, in order to build your business up to get to that point. But if you are tired of wasting your time, if you actually want help, go to my Instagram, Brando Blends, and DM me growth. Tell me that you came from this exact video and I will immediately help you out. I will personally speak to you and make sure that we can figure out something to make sure that you are able to progress in your business. Because the last thing that I want is for someone else to take 4 years doing this when I could teach you how to do it in 4 months. I've taught so many people how to go from 3K to 10K in 4 months. I've taught people how to go from 1.5K to 8.5K in 5 months. It's possible for you if you just put the steps forward put in the action that's needed in order for you to get those results. This is what this game is about. This is why I'm retiring from barbering. It's not so that I can go and make more money doing something else. It's not because I hate barbering. It's because there's really people out here that I know that I can help increase their content, that I actually care about them, not like these other coaches that are just going to tell you, oh yeah, just follow this script and you'll get 20, 30 new clients. What? My clients, my students are getting 100 new clients a month. And they're making double what they came in making 2 months ago. This is what we do. And the reason that we get these results is because we have conversations like this where I'm able to tell them exactly what they need to do, what their next steps are, and I walk them through their journey, and I let them know exactly when it's time for them to level up their content, when it's time for them to go on to that next step. So if that's what you're looking for, go to my Instagram, DM me, and I really hope this helped you out. I really hope you brought a notepad out. If you didn't, watch the video over again. That way you could really take away something from this. Watching this video again, having the information is not enough. You need to implement these things. If you want to do it by yourself, again, go watch that last video that I told you about. The frameworks that I used to get me to 800,000 followers on social media. All right. I hope this helped you guys out. I would love for you guys to hop in the comment section. If there's anything that you want me to break down in depth, let me know. That way I can make another video talking specifically about certain outcomes, talking specifically on certain things that maybe I just went over too fast that you need some more clarification on. My goal is to make this content game as accessible as possible for every single person that's watching this, even if it's just through YouTube. So if you want more information, let me know. If you want personal guidance, mentorship, DM me on Instagram. God bless you guys. I appreciate you watching this.